Here's a recap of week 1 of the Diddy trial, what the government is trying to prove and how the defense is pushing back. Interestingly enough, both sides start by telling the jury that there are two sides to Diddy: the boisterous, larger-than-life entertainer that we all know, and then the side that the public never saw. The government, though, focused entirely on the dark side, the Diddy that beat Cassie in an elevator lobby as she tried to leave an alleged freak-off. They say he preyed on her when she was 19 years old, trapping her into a predatory 10-album deal, killing her career, and spent years consumed by his depraved sexual fantasies. Cassie testified that Diddy introduced her to hard drugs and forced her to perform acts with male escorts that she had to find on sites like Craigslist, Backpage, and through escort services. She says these freak-offs would last for days and recalled the time where Diddy and a male escort were standing over her, urinating on her face while she choked. The recovery would also take days, hooked up to an IV. She described beatings and jealous rampages, including one incident where Diddy allegedly stomped on her face in the back of a black car for speaking to another man. Sometimes she says Diddy would get violent simply for making the wrong facial expression. When all was said and done, she says his security team and team of assistants cleaned it all up. Prosecutors ending their questioning with a moment that stopped the room and left one juror in tears. Cassie told the court that 5 years after leaving Diddy, after getting married, after having kids, and trying to start fresh, that she contemplated taking her own life because she said the pain and the trauma was too much to bear. But Diddy's defense team, comprised of some of the top trial attorneys in the country, are pushing back. First, they say that this was a toxic, volatile, but loving relationship, and that this case is a domestic violence case, not a trafficking case. They're not denying that Diddy was violent or that he abused substances, but they're saying at its core, this was a relationship that had its ups and downs. And they also were trying to tap into something more universal with a jury of 8 men and 4 women. They zeroed in on the jealousy and infidelity in the relationship on both sides. And despite the 17-year age difference, the defense says that Cassie was no ordinary 21-year-old when she got with Diddy. She was someone who already had money, access to powerful men like former Sony executive Tommy Mottola, Mariah Carey's ex-husband. And she was already experienced in dating older men. And just like she cheated on her boyfriend at the time, music producer Ryan Leslie, to get with Diddy, she also cheated on Diddy with men in the entertainment industry. He was furious and suspicious of men like Kid Cudi, Michael B. Jordan, Chris Brown. They also say that Cassie had her own jealousy streak, envious of his relationship with Kim Porter, and so desperate to be his official girl.
I honestly hope that justice gets served, and I don't want Diddy to get off, of course not, but I just want there to be a clearer picture, because right now it feels like everyone is so emotional, and I'm like, nah, let's not do that. Let's not crucify the man just because he's black. Let's wait. Let's hear him out. I know it's crazy to say, but let's hear him out.
This is crazy, guys. I was in the actual courtroom. I got in there, my man KK, it worked. Diddy made eye contact with me, looked at me, and waved hello. He looked around and waved hello to me. Oh my God, this is crazy. So, lots of stuff happening. Don Richard took the stand.
I hate the fact that we are treating Diddy like a farm animal. People are so quick to judge, so quick. And most of the people which are judging, they do also these like freak-offs. What Lily Phillips is doing, isn't that a freak-off? But no one wants to have that conversation.
The lawyer for Diddy, Miss Westmoreland is her name. She's a bulldog. I told her that. I saw her out in the hallway during a break. I was like, you are good. And she's like, thank you. But I mean, Miss Westmoreland destroyed.
Jamie Foxx says he was poisoned by Diddy and he turned him into the FBI. And allegedly he got poisoned by Diddy because he was in freak-off tapes and the feds called him as a witness. And this is something that's been speculated about Jamie Foxx for quite some time, but now he's actually saying it out of his mouth. In Jamie Foxx's upcoming Netflix comedy special, he made a startling claim that Diddy was behind the stroke that he suffered a year ago. He went into detail about what happened before, during, and after his health scare, and then looked at the audience and said, Diddy was responsible for my stroke. And what's crazy is there is a celebrity bodyguard that has been speaking about this for over a year, and he recently just did an interview right before this information dropped, speaking on it again, and he said the information was about to come out.
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
Wait, you're saying that Diddy poisoned Jamie Foxx and that's how Jamie Foxx got sick?
Jamie Foxx reported this man to the FBI because of this.
To everybody who called me a sick son of a B when I said, why didn't Cassie leave? When it came out in court that she did leave, she did start a new life, got married and all that, and then went back to Diddy. What y'all gonna say about that? How she end up in a whole new marriage, went back to Diddy and orchestrated her own freak off. What y'all gonna say about that now? That was... So she did leave after getting her head knocked in between the washing machine and dryer. But she kept cheating on her husband. She kept going back to them same escorts that Diddy had her freaking off with against her will. But she got out, got married, and the husband had to find out that she was getting quadruple teamed by probably male escort. These dudes probably had the biggest schmeats. There's probably 6'8", like hand-picked male escorts by rich people. Bro, you know the dude in Why Did I Get Married? I think it was when the investment banker came in the house and he had his wife up. This is probably like that.
I know y'all see this picture with Kim Kardashian, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Puffy, Cassie, and guess who's on the far left? Rihanna. Let's talk about it. So for those that really don't understand what's going on, these are industry musician elites who she happens to be around. She's nowhere on her level. She's not on her level. And she's definitely not on Rihanna's level. So why is she here? Oh, to get what they have. But sadly, it didn't happen. He promised her this. He promised her this. He promised her But the difference between all of them and her is she's not talented like Beyonce is. She's not talented like Rihanna is. Also, she didn't have the guts to go through with it because they do everything that happened to her happened to them. Please tell me that y'all really don't understand what's going on. Everything that happened to them happened to her. The only difference is he couldn't make a star out of her because she didn't have the talent. Also, Sean Diddy Combs is terrible with money, especially with managing his clients. He F's all of them at the end. All of them. Like, they end up broke. They end up not having any money. He's a thief. He's a terrible producer if we're going to keep it 100%.
You know that it's the devil, but yet you signed the contract. Why? You have heard people coming out of his office crying, he destroyed my life, yet you signed the contract. Isn't it then on you as a person? Like, okay, yes, she chose it. Because I'm like, if I were to vape right now, I know how vaping is horrible for you. Vaping is so bad. It's like inhaling battery acid. It's very, very bad for you. But I have the choice to. You, as a human being, have the choice to. But then if you get cancer, you can't sue the vape company.
Kerry and Cassie were best friends for over 17 years. She met Cassie on a modeling shoot when they were teenagers, and they lived together in Manhattan and were inseparable until 2018. That is when Kerry said Diddy physically assaulted her, and she ended their friendship for good. When taking the stand, she told the court she did not want to be there. She said, "I've moved on from all these people and their problems," and that she was testifying because she was subpoenaed. Kerry said Cassie changed once she got into a relationship with Diddy. She lost her confidence big time, and she lost her spark. In terms of Diddy's jealousy, she said that he would call Cassie over 50 times in a row, screaming at her, criticizing her looks, and questioning who she was talking to. He said Cassie felt like she couldn't leave because he controlled everything from her job to her car to her apartment. She felt like she was trapped. When talking about Cassie doing substances before Diddy, she said that Cassie did not. But she said Diddy often provided substances like X, Molly, and Mary J. She said that Diddy would be doing all of these substances, but that sometimes she and Cassie would do OP8s together. When talking about Diddy's presence, she said that it was dominating and unpredictable. Talking about physical assault, she said the first time she saw him getting physical with Cassie was in a house in Hollywood Hills. She says Diddy and Cassie were arguing in the bedroom while she stood in the foyer. She said she saw Diddy pushing Cassie and possibly punching and kicking her too. She said Cassie did not fight back and that Kerry yelled at Ruben, who is Diddy's security, to do something, and he did not. In fact, she said Ruben refused. Afterwards, her and Cassie ran out of the house house and hid behind a neighbor's front steps for 30 minutes as Diddy searched for them.
Cassie is just another Kim. But Kim was willing to lay down with a bunch of men and do all these different things and do all these rituals. Y'all don't think that these people all do this? That's why people keep saying this is a outrage against black women because we're always abused. This is not about that. This is about the industry falling because God is exposing everybody. And second, all of this is about money. Do you think she would have opened her mouth if she would have got $100 million? If she was worth anything, right? Worth anything financially, because now we're looking at billionaires. Rihanna, B, and Kim. They're all billionaires now. And what is she? She's in the same place she was at when this picture was taken. Like, I would be pissed off too. I would be upset. We're going to keep it 100. You did everything they asked. You did everything with everybody. You signed all the contracts. You did all the witchcraft. You did all the rituals. And you still don't have no money? Of course you're going to go and tell. At the end of the day, he knew that. And that's why he gave her that $20 million at first.
The thing with Cassie, she's an airhead. That is what I think that Cassie is. Because it's like, you can't be that gullible. You can't be that stupid to be with your husband, get kids with him, and then go to Diddy's house and FaceTime with your husband. You can't, there's no way.
Puff was on his what they call victory lap, if you will. Just got celebrated from MTV. Just got the key to New York City. Changed his shit to love. Was doing so good. He gave. People made publishing back. He was doing everything to change his reputation. But it was one thing that I think the thing that brought him down was Caresha.
What do you mean?
Hey, bro.
Explain.
Don't nobody piss your ex off more than you turning up the next. Everything he promised for Cassie, he gave to Caresha. He gave her a show. He gave her a deal. When she's performing, she ain't signed to him. Showing to her shows like this, his artist, like supporting her. And if you Cassie, you looking like been 13 years with you begging you to give me that. And you giving it and now you making me penny pitch. Now I'm gonna sue your ass. Cause that's what a woman would do. Like, but now Cassie is like, what about me? And all the shit I endured. Dog, that's why they got a term called the starter wife. The starter wife always goes through the bullshit first. The starter wife always goes through that. When Puff was in his dark stage, he was with Cassie. Now he's in his love era, he with Caresha. Caresha got a way different experience than Cassie did.
Okay guys, that is the end of the video. Do not forget to, of course, like, comment, and share because it helps us out in the algorithm. And today's viewer question is, do you think that Diddy is guilty or Cassie is guilty, or it's maybe somewhere in the middle? Leave it in the comment section and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.